Australia plans to reopen its borders to international travellers. Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced the decision, saying that the restrictions will be lifted once the country reaches an 80% vaccination rate. However, travellers will be required to be fully vaccinated and to adhere to quarantine requirements once they enter into the country. National carrier Qantas Airways has also announced it will be resuming some international flights starting next month. Speaking to the press, Morrison said the reopening would be an important step in returning Australia to normalcy.
It's time to give Australians their lives back. We've saved lives, we've saved livelihoods, but we must work together to ensure that Australians can reclaim the lives that they once had in this country.
Well, joining me for more from Melbourne is journalist Max Walden. Max, the lifting of the travel ban amounts to giving Australians their lives back, says the Prime Minister. Is that the general feeling there?
It's certainly the feeling amongst people such as myself that have loved ones overseas. And of course, given Australia has many, many migrants, that is the situation for many of us. So certainly there's been an outpouring of emotion I've seen on social media and from some friends who finally will be able to have their relatives visit this country and also be able to travel overseas.
Tell us more about the new rules coming into effect. What's expected and when?
Well, look, as far as I understand, it's, when states reach 80% of vaccination, then they will allow to have international flights coming back in. New South Wales, which of course is the most populous state, Sydney is the capital of that state, they're the closest to, again, welcoming back international travellers. Again, throughout the pandemic, Sydney has taken the bulk of international travellers. But again, in Melbourne, where I am, in Victoria, we are on track to hitting that 80%. So hopefully too, for a long time, Melbourne has had very, very few international flights. And I believe that the government here too is pretty keen to get back some of those international travellers.
Australia's travel ban has been extremely tight. How has that affected the economy?
Well, look, I mean, we did have a recession, a brief recession. Of course, Australia has had, I think, 28 years of continuous economic growth, and there was a technical recession for several quarters of last year. I think Australia's actually come out of that, but certainly in terms of tourism sector, naturally that's affected. But I think most importantly for Australia is the international education sector. So, of course, many international students, particularly from Asia, from China, from across Southeast Asia and India, have been unable to enter Australia. Some of them have been doing their education online, but of course that's not the same as being able to go physically to Australia. So it certainly has meant many job losses in the university sector here. And I'm sure the university and tertiary education sector very much welcoming this international border opening.
Max, thanks so much. Journalist Max Walden there in Melbourne.